This is a mahogany naval desk or ship's desk, and they were made either side of 1900. This is a small size one. They came in two sizes, um, with a larger version available, but they're much harder to find. And perhaps the reason being that the smaller size was meant for the junior officers and the larger size perhaps meant for the captain. This is all purely conjecture on my part, but it would seem to be a reasonable theory. So let's talk you through how we know that it's a naval desk and explain to you a little bit more about how it works. I'll just remove everything off the top and we'll get a closer look at it. Now, it's probable that a number of different manufacturers were making these desks. Most of them are unnamed. They're probably all working to set pattern from the Board of Admiralty. Occasionally you see some of them stamped to the top drawer either side of the lock, Arthur Foley Salisbury. And he was quite a well established Salisbury cabinet maker by the second half of the 19th century. And in fact, in the 1889 trade directory that he's listed in, he notes that he was a supplier to the Board of Admiralty. So what are the indications that it's a naval, it's a ship's desk? Well, the first obvious one is this fiddle gallery here to stop things sliding off the desk. And it's hinged to the sides and removable. Now this one is actually replaced, but we knew exactly the design, so we knew how to correctly replace it. And you can see that it's got brass pins to the underside of the gallery, and these fit into brass lined holes to the top. Now, more often than not, when you see these desks, the gallery is missing. It's been taken off at some stage and parted company with the desk. But these brass lined holes are a sure giveaway that originally it had a gallery. So that first of all tells you that it's a ship's desk. Another clue is this long drawer to the top. Now it's made to look like three separate drawers, but it's actually a long drawer, and that would be very practical for not only storing your fiddle gallery when it's dismantled and you're moving it around, but during use to take charts and maps to help you go about your work as a naval officer. So that's the second clue. Now, another really good clue, which proves to us that this form of desk was used by the Navy, is a photograph that we've got. So let's see if we can show it to you. So here we can see a photograph of an officer's cabin on board HMS Grafton. And this is going to be either side of 1900. And we can clearly see in the middle of the photograph, amongst all of the officers' belongings, that there is an almost identical naval desk. If you look closely, you'll be able to see the gallery, but it's the same design. So that's fairly irrefutable proof that these desks were used on board ship. So, how do you dismantle the desk? Well, it's a pedestal desk, and normally the top just simply lifts off. But this version has got an extra mechanism for fitting it. So what we have to do is, first of all, remove the top drawer. Now I'm going to come off the tripod and come in a little bit closer just so that you can see what it is exactly that holds the top to the two pedestals. So hopefully you can see in here we've got twist catches, brass twist catches that lock the two pedestals to the top. And that's fairly typical of this form of desk. It's not really something that you'll see on a domestic desk. So if we turn these catches, we can lift the top off, and there we can see we've broken it down into 3 pieces. Now we've got various paint marks to the top here, which probably would have been something to do with the Navy and the ship and which cabin it was meant for. You can see there's 29 to the top here. And you can hopefully also see these twist catches a little bit clearer. So they just turn and they lock the pedestals to the desk. To the back also you can see you've got a rebate section on each side, and that is to fit into these bars here. And if we turn around and have a look, hopefully you can see that this section is shaped so it'll fit over that rebate and also help to lock it into place. So the desk breaks down to a relatively small size, as you would expect, to make it much easier to move it on and off board ship. So it's a mahogany naval desk, probably originally ordered by the board of Admiralty rather than a private purchase. They came in 2 sizes. This is the smaller size and made of mahogany, and they're very practical, especially the smaller size for modern living. They're not rare desks, you do see them about now and again, but they are quite a nice practical small size for modern use. So naval desk, either side of 1908.